y'all. It's Shannon from Creative Chaos in Tennessee, and today we are back with another Scraps to Embellishment video, and we are doing the 12 days of Christmas. Today is day 3. 3 French hens created Christmas dinner embellishment. Now, this is based around the swap that's happening over on Ginger's Corner, which was a partner swap. Sign-ups are closed, but you could take these tips and use them to create your own Christmas embellishments. So, had to create a Christmas dinner embellishment, and what would dinner be without the goodies? So, I know they're kind of washed out in the camera, but look at these cute little Christmas goodies. You gotta have dessert, right? That's my favorite part. So, I'm gonna show you guys how I created these. Y'all know I'm still rolling with the pastel Christmas theme. So that's what I'm doing. But I cut these out on my Cricut. These were on the Cricut Design Space. And I started out with one, and I was like, you know what, I need another one. So I made 2 instead of 1. But I'm going to start out with my Picked Raspberry Distress Oxide. I'm going to lightly ink. Now, I have been getting away from inking, and I've told y'all this in all the other videos if you have been watching. But I've had a lot of requests for y'all to, that y'all want me to show me inking the stuff, so I'm doing so. I'm just kind of doing it lightly because I want to keep it pastel, but I am going up a little bit just to give it a little bit of variation. Ooh, and I just dropped it in the floor. Okay, and then I'm going to do my berries. And just to make it stand out, I'm going to use the very edge and just kind of add it in a little bit darker there. And then I'm going to ink this one. This one is actually really simple, but I thought it turned out really pretty. And then I have my ground espresso, and I am going to go really lightly with this because I want to keep it light, but I want it just barely be able to tell. So to start with, I'm going to go around the edges, and I'm also just going to barely use the edge of my dauber just to go around the little circles on the cake. Just to make them stand out just a little bit. And then I just like to, like I said, I barely have any ink. I have not re-inked this. I've used it all day and not re-inked it. So I'm just barely blending it in. You need to be careful if you first ink it up, because it'll have a lot on it and you want it to be light. So I'm using my bundled sage to do my greens. And this is just a tiny bit darker than what it actually is. The paper is. But it's just enough to give it a little bit of color. I don't know how well you can see it on the camera. And with this one, I'm going around it a little bit hard. Because like I said, this one is very similar in color to what the paper, so it makes it a little bit harder to see. But I'm leaving that space in the middle where it's not getting any ink, just holding my finger on it and inking so that you can still see the difference. I don't know if you can see it or not. So, okay, so that's all of our inking done. And then what I did was, and this one I did I use silver foil because this is supposed to be the platter that it's sitting on. So, what you're going to do first is add this one on. And I probably should actually use tape. The other ones turned out okay, but I added them last after I had everything put together so I could really like hold it down and get it on there good. Because when you're gluing to full, it tends to not work really great, but you could use double stick tape to attach it, and that would work out good. And then I'm just going to go ahead and add this berry to my holly. And then what I did was I took my white pen and I just colored in the circle so that it would be white. You could back it before you put it down if you wanted to with some white paper, or you could even take a paint marker and dot it, but just to give it that highlight so that the green's not showing through. So then the next thing I did was I added this cake part. And notice I didn't do anything to this one because all it is the background to show that's going to show through these little holes that we already highlighted with the ink. So, and it's going to line up perfect on there. You could do these in any color you wanted, make the cakes all different colors. I'm kind of going with the gingerbread, the, you know, pastel brown looking gingerbread, and the pastel Christmas, so that's why I went with these colors. So I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to add my foam tape. And I kind of want to get it on here really good. This one's too long. But I really want to get it on here good because I'm going to be adding this stuff to it. And I want it to actually stay and not start curling up. Which it will a little bit. You can see on these that it did curl up just a little bit. But that's okay. Okay. Put one more in right here just to help hold it down pretty good. Alright, so then I'm going to peel all these off. And this is just, you could totally skip this step if you wanted to keep it flat. But y'all know I like to add some dimension to my embellishments. Just add a little bit of glue on these. And it all lines up. And then you're going to add your little holly. And I actually, my glue's getting jammed up. I actually put foam tape on this also just to pop it up a little bit more. So I'm going to run that on there. And a little bit of glue. And it's going to line up too. And then of course, I don't know if you can tell, but it does give it some dimension. And that is pretty, just like it is. If you wanted to stop there, but y'all know me, I can't stop. I like to add and add and add, and sometimes I'm like, okay, you did too much. Enough. Stop. I'm going to add just a little bit of glue, and then add my berries on here. Same thing on this one. I'm going to put foam tape on here. what I ended up doing on this one was I ended up cutting my tape down. But if you had some thinner tape, that would work great. I don't have my non-stick scissors out, so everything's just kind of sticking to everything. That didn't even do anything. I think it's all on there. Okay, let me get the good scissors that I can actually cut foam with. These are non-stick ones. These are actually a free gift, I think, on scrapbook.com or something. Okay. In the end, I'm just going to put that on this long one. Put another little piece here. Same thing, peel it all off and stick it on there. It all lines up. Okay, so that's everything connected except for that, because I have to wait just a second because of my last finishing touches. So the last thing I did was I added glitter, and I used glossy accents to do it. Now, you could use glue to do this. I'm going to put this under here so I can have something to pour my glitter onto. But pretty much what I did was I took my glossy accents and I just covered the whole white area. And I kind of put it on thin. I'm just rubbing it to get it where I want it to go. Because if you fill this thing in, you could totally just leave it just like this and not add glitter. And I know there's lots of you guys that are opposed to glitter, but I absolutely love glitter. And fair warning, if you get a Christmas card from me, you better open it outside if you don't like glitter. But anyways, so this would be pretty just as it is, and then add your holly on and have the glossy look. But I wanted to, let me do this one. I wanted to jazz it up a little bit more, because like I said, sometimes I get carried away and I keep going and thinking of all the extra little things that I can do to keep adding to it. When I probably should stop. And like I said, I'm just barely squeezing and adding. You can see that some of the spots is not covered all the way. But now, if you was just going to leave it shiny like this to make it look like frosting, you could do that, and you want to make sure all your little spots are filled in. But because I'm going to be adding glitter over this, it's not really going to matter because you're not going to be able to tell, and it's still going to hold the glitter where I need it to. So okay, so I did both of them, and what I'm going to do now, I'm just taking this glitter, and this is just crystal, and this is a little bit, it's not super chunky. I don't know if you can see it in there. It's not super chunky, but it's not super fine either. I don't care for the look of super fine glitter. Well, I mean, I do for some stuff, but I'm just going to sprinkle this on. Make sure all of it's covered. And then I'm just going to lift up and dump. And then lightly tap it. You don't want to get carried away with the tapping because it'll make your glossy accents run and it'll be dripping off. But you can see, look how pretty. It's all shimmered up. Okay, same thing with this one. Knock all the excess off. So then, let me move all this and dump my glitter back in. Oops, sorry, I hit the camera. My other thing I did was on the pink one, on the pink cake, I added other glitter down here along the bottom, if you can see. And I ended up using this glitter. When I used to do tumblers a lot, I have all kinds of glitters left over from it, the big chunky glitters. And this one is the one I bought from Gorgeous Glitter, and it's called Callista. And I don't even know if that company still exists, if they're still in business. I haven't bought glitter in years. But it used to be a huge market where you could go and get all kinds of glitter mixes for your projects. And I kind of just put this one around the bottom and up the side just a little bit. Just because. Really no rhyme or reason. And then I'm just going to dump my glitter on. Isn't that so pretty? I love this. This color blend makes me so happy. I love it. And then it had some that was kind of off the edges. So what I did was I just took my finger and went around and knocked them off. Or patted them up in there. Okay. So let me dump my glitter back in. And then what I did to attach the holly berries, I put foam tape on the back of both of these leaves so that it would, because this is on 3D, so that it would raise it up to the same level. But I only put it on the leaves, and I took some more glossy accents and put it on that. And then just press that down so that it acts like glue. So it's attached. And then, of course, y'all know I took my white pen to do all my little highlighting for everything. And on this one, I went in on the berries. I have to be careful because it's not dry yet. But I just highlighted them a little bit. And same thing over here. And then I went through all of these little dots and I just put a little bitty mark in the bottom of each one just so that it's kind of like a little highlight. Totally don't have to. And then I took my dull gray blend, tri-blend marker again on the middle one. And I just drew in some little lines for the holly. Just to add a little bit more dimension to it. This one's moving everywhere because it's so wet still. Okay. But y'all get the point. Okay. So then you have two delicious looking cakes for your your Christmas dinner. I'm still in Thanksgiving mode. I skipped right over Thanksgiving for real. And kept thinking we was past Thanksgiving, and then they was like, it's Thanksgiving. I'm like, oh man, I gotta cook. So, yeah, if you want to win a set of these, all you have to do is leave me a comment. If you want to be entered to win the prize at the end of the month, the big, huge grand prize, all you have to do is comment on every video every day. So, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Come over to the Facebook group and hang out and chat and Zoom. And until next time, bye y'all.